Let me ask you something. What if handling the "I can't afford it" objection could actually be your easiest move in a sales call? It might sound bold, but in just 1 year, I made over $268,000 using the same approach I teach my clients to turn their maybes into yeses. Here's the truth. When clients say, "I can't afford it," it's often not about the money. There's usually something deeper going on. So today, I'm going to walk you through 3 powerful questions to turn that objection into an opportunity. But before we get into that, story time. I get a prospect, not a client, send me a text saying, yeah, I just experienced a nightmare of a sales call. I just experienced the worst sales call of my life. The guy, the coach, actually told me that if I didn't work with him, I'm gay.
What?
So this is a coach who's looking to be coached by a business coach. And the business coach starts strong. He's like, well, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And they get to the "I can't afford it." And the prospect, who's been on calls with me as well, is just sitting there saying, well, I'm not quite sure. 5-6K price point. First, the guy tries the nice way. First, the guy says, well, we'll work it out for you. We'll write it in the contract. Then he tries guilt tripping the prospect. He says, well, how long are you going to continue doing this to your family? Are you going to go back to watching porn? Like, there was no discussion of porn on the call. It was completely uncalled for. And the prospect is just sitting there. He's just sitting there like flabbergasted as to why on earth am I being told these things when we're just talking about an investment. Then this guy starts moving in between "I hate you, you should be ashamed of yourself" to "I love you, I'll do everything for you." So very similar to like an avoidant mother style, like "I only love you if you pay me money." And then he does the biggest red flag, because remember, whatever coach you get on a call with, however they're treating you, whatever words they're using to talk to you is also what they're going to teach you. And so he starts dropping the price point. They're at a price point where it's just $1,000. And finally, when the prospect still says, no, I don't think I want to do that, he's like, well, if you don't work with me, you might as well go gay. Are you just going to be gay? Nightmare of a call. And finally, it turns into the prospect saying, hey, I would like to hang up now. Have I upset you? The prospect is telling the sales guy or the coach, have I upset you? And then he's mad. He's like, have you upset me? No, you haven't upset me. Ha ha, I'm so happy. I'm just a complete disaster. So I texted the prospect. I was like, dude, painful. It's extremely painful, everything. Anyway. Point being, you're taught to be aggressive, it's good to be aggressive. You're taught to be assertive, it's good to be assertive. You're taught to be confident, it's good to be confident. You're taught to spell things out to the prospect. It is very good to spell things out, but there is a way. Now, I don't think I'm the exception to the norm, because I've met some amazing, fantastic people in the coaching and consulting industry who do this the right way. But the right way, which is what I'm about to share with you, is do not ridicule someone. The right way is not to hurt someone, because you have to be very careful. Many times, you energy is actually the same as pick me energy. You're if you don't work with me actually many times means I'm if you don't work with me. What we're going to talk about is the 3-step sequence to fix this. So when someone says, I can't afford it, the first question you ask is, no worries, no problems. Besides the price, are there any other concerns? Do you have any other questions? Because essentially what we're doing is we're testing to see if "I can't afford it" is a smokescreen or a real objection. If they say anything besides the money, that's the real objection. Now they'll start opening up to you and start telling you, well, actually, I had a question about this, I had a question about that. Cool. If they say no, the only problem is the price, the next question to ask them is, okay, if you had the money, would you invest? So first of all, you ask a broad question. Any other questions? You're fishing around to see if everything else is. Then if they say no, that's it, then you go slightly narrower. If you had the money, would you invest it? That's another way and another layer deep of checking if they had the money, would they still invest with you? Or are there more questions? And you wait for them to tell you, well, I have this question or that question, so on and the other. If they don't, and they say, yes, if I had the money, I would invest with you, then you know it's the money. And then you ask them the third question, which is, okay, how can we solve this problem? Not how you can make it happen. How can we solve this problem? And you will, if you haven't done everything that this person did, if you haven't ridiculed and shamed and guilt-tripped and attacked and just outright abused a person into trying to get them to work with you, I don't understand how that's supposed to work. The other person will be like, And I've seen it live many times. People start calculating and computing how they can invest in themselves. And so I often tell people the objective of the sales call is not to trick someone into working with you, but it's actually to get someone to see that they need to work on themselves. Now, They can decide who they want to work with, or they can very well tell you that no, they don't want to work on themselves. I've had 2 people in my career tell me to my face that no, Yaya, I would like to stay stuck like this. Cool, my job's done. I've made you realize, I've made you aware. And so what would I do if I was in this person's place? Is I do a vibe check. I often tell people in my community that, look, not everyone is a victim, because my people tend to jump to conclusions too quickly, which is the action taker dilemma. An action taker just assumes that anybody who doesn't take action is a loser. And so they often come from a place of judgment, and we can tend to disqualify people very quickly. And I often say, you want to come from a place of compassion, where you want to be like, okay, I know what this person feels like. I've been there. I know what it feels like. It is scary. Just because I can take action doesn't mean this person is less than me. Oftentimes when we make money, we've taken action, it's easy to assume that the other people who are in bad situations are there because of who they are. They might be there because of who they are, or they might be there because life happened. Shit happens in life. Because I get people saying this to me. They're like, well, let me go make some money so I can then pay you money to teach me how to make money. I literally repeat their words back to them. Well, you just told me you wanted to make money, and now you're telling me you first will make money, and then we're like, which is it? It's the easiest thing in the world to do, provided you have the presence of mind on the call to listen to what the other person is saying. Not listen to glean, not listen to influence, not listen to manipulate, just listen, like logically, matter-of-factly, just listen to their words and see if their words make sense. That's pretty much all there is to it. This is by far the worst sales call experience I have ever witnessed in my life. If you're one of those people who's been taught to lower the price, please don't do it. I was taught the same. I was taught like offer a lower price. Because you have to, you want to do whatever you can. Just sell. No, don't do that, because that compromises the sanctity of the relationship you have with all the other people who have paid you a good price. And so I thought I'd share this with you, the 3-step sequence on how to hold space for prospects and get them to work with you without showing contempt, without ridiculing them, without shaming or guilting them, because maybe it's just me, because I come from a background of mindset coaching. I've been on calls with people who are suicidal. I've been on calls with people who are chronically depressed. I've been on calls with people who have panic attacks and anxiety attacks. You have to be very careful with the words you use with someone. The world is already a horrible, lonely place for a lot of people. We shouldn't encourage this philosophy of buy on the spot or go to hell. It's not human. Boys and girls, I hope I've helped you. Your boy's out of here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.